Dark psychology is the same as psychology. When learning about psychology, it's best to already assume that there is darkness in the mix. However, dark psychology sounds edgier. It has a cooler marketing appeal. With social skills, it's a game of understanding the mind. Most fields are like that. Look at the top performers in any field and they'll often say, "It all comes down to mindset." Because the more we chase greatness within a field, the more mental faculties we will need to use. To use these mental faculties effectively, we need to understand these mental faculties. Not only understand our own mind, but understand the minds of others. Allow us to enter the land of psychology, more specifically, dark psychology. What is psychology? Psychology is the systematic understanding of the mind. The most powerful line in the description is systematic. Whenever I hear system, I think patterns. That means we aren't just throwing a bunch of random stuff on the wall and hoping something sticks. Instead, we are learning the processes of the mind. To understand the mind, there are different models. Models add structure to a hazy field, and the different models of the mind aren't all too different. Mainly, the language is different. In my book, Level Up Mentality, I break down the mind from the perspective of an engineer. The four important components are identity, this is our self-image; intellect, this is our critical thinking faculties; memory, this is the database of our experiences; and sensory processing system, which is our ability to spot objects. These four parts work together. Just like the fingers on a palm make up the entire palm, these four parts make up the entire mind. Emotions and what is dark psychology? The identity, aka the self-image, is a spectrum. Spectrum? Yeah, instead of picturing an on and off switch, picture a light dimmer. Scientology has this very useful chart called the emotional tone scale. The chart breaks down a variety of emotions that a human experiences. It is organized from light to darkness. This is how the identity works. On a daily basis, a person hops around this emotional tone scale. The same person who is enthusiastic can become fearful. Hopping around the emotional tone scale is a built-in feature of the mind. Emotional intelligence comes down to transcending the dance of the emotional tone scale. When you transcend the dance of the identity, that's when you can use all emotions as fuel to move towards a grand vision. When it comes to dark psychology, we are predominantly focusing on the dark part of the emotional tone scale. We make ourselves aware of the darkness that friendly faces can exhibit. Different philosophies of a human. There are two different philosophies to understand a human. Two of the popular ones are: humans are naturally sinful creatures and they need something divine to pull them out of darkness, or humans are naturally pure creatures but ignorance causes them to do sinful activities. Knowledge pulls them out of darkness. Both these philosophies factor in dark psychology. How do you perceive it? Are people sinful or ignorant? It doesn't matter how you perceive dark psychology. The goal is to come to face with it. Understanding that humans are capable of questionable or dark traits frees you. Frees me? Heck, it scares me. It scares you at first, but soon it begins to feel good to have the truth wash over you. Inviting in darkness allows us to gain power over it. This is like using a tiny thorn to remove the other thorn that is stuck in your toe. Strategy. How to learn dark psychology. There's a lot of different ways to learn dark psychology. I believe the two best methods are through personal experiences, knowledge acquisition. Let's understand both. Personal experiences. Personal experiences come down to two things. One, seeing when others exhibited dark psychology towards you. And two, when you exhibited dark psychology towards others. This, my friend, is called the School of Hard Knocks, aka Street Smarts, where you learn beyond the safe boundaries of school. If you introspect enough, you'll see a few moments like this. It's easy for the ego to automatically just focus on how we were done wrong in the past. But did you ever do someone wrong? Gaslight them? Steal from them? Spread lies about them because they were better than you in a certain facet of life? How honest you are will determine how well you learn dark psychology. Second path, knowledge acquisition. This is a fancy phrase for research the past and present. I'm sure there are tons of people in history and in the modern world who do questionable things. There was a realtor recently who went around killing homeless people. Dictators, serial killers, rapists, etc. All places to learn dark psychology from. Even those courthouse clips where someone is about to get sentenced to go to prison. How is their body language? Are they remotely remorseful? Content allows us to get acclimated with the dark parts of reality, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Dark psychology and improving people's skills. Having a systematic understanding of the mind is earned. It's one thing to read a book and call it a day. It's another thing to live the knowledge and understand the mind on an intimate level. All knowledge eventually comes down to understanding the mind. It's a curiosity that does not discriminate. It's impossible to learn about the full coin when you just keep staring at the heads. Eventually, you're going to have to flip it and stare at the tails. It's impossible to learn about the full mind when you keep staring at the light. Eventually, you're going to have to flip it and stare at the darkness. Darkness is a section in my book, The Charisma King. This is a book that teaches you the fundamentals of how to get along with others. I don't only talk about who to connect with, but I also discuss who not to connect with. You'll learn how to spot the red flags in someone. This book has a blend of dark psychology with practical social skills, strategies to help you navigate the world of people. Learn more in The Charisma King by checking out the links in the description box or go on ArmaniTalks.com and grab your copy today.